Why does posting high quality photos to Instagram always have to feel like you're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube or crack some type of code? It makes sense because Instagram's compression is absolutely horrible and nobody wants to post their photos and it look completely different than it did when you first exported it. So recently I took some time to test out different posts, test out different export settings, and I'll be honest, I think I cracked the code. If you don't believe me, pause this video, head over to my Instagram, check out my photos. I think they look pretty good compared to other photos I'm seeing on Instagram. So stay tuned to see how I do this. Okay, so let's break down the exporting process and then I'll talk about 5 things I do and don't do to get the best quality when I'm actually posting to Instagram. Okay, so we're in Lightroom. We have a bunch of photos edited and ready to be exported. This is actually from a day that I spent driving and photographing these exotic cars. If you want to check out that video, it's a lot of fun. It's almost like a vlog. I just posted on my YouTube channel 2 days ago. So go check it out. So we'll just choose one here. This is one of my favorites. Now, a lot of people will say to crop your photo 4:5 before you even, post it to Instagram. However, I don't like doing that because then when I actually want the original aspect ratio photo or the original size, then I have to go and look for the Lightroom catalog because I don't have the original anymore. So I like to export the full original aspect ratio to my phone. That way I have the original and then crop it later on my phone. So I'll click on export here. And once our export window has popped up, the only settings that really matter here are output sharpening and image sizing. So for output sharpening, I make sure this is turned on and I do sharpen for screen. Amount is set to standard. And then now this is the most important setting in the whole exporting process, image sizing. So Instagram recommends, or their preferred dimensions are 1080 by 1350. So when you go down to image sizing, this photo here is like 4000 by 7000. I can't post this to Instagram. It'll get destroyed by Instagram's compression. So this is why we need to resize our image within Lightroom. So we turn on resize to fit, we choose short edge, and technically you would set this to 1080 because this is Instagram's preferred dimensions. However, I found that Instagram will compress the photo regardless. Even if it is at those dimensions, it's gonna compress it. So what I do is I actually double this number to 2160 on the short edge. And then I found once I actually post it and it goes through Instagram's compression, we're a little closer to that 1080 number or that preferred dimension. So I found exporting or resizing our image on the short edge to 2160 gives us the best result. Then I make sure resolution is set to 240 pixels per inch. I found this really doesn't matter if you set this to 240, 300, whatever you set this to. I leave mine on 240. It's always giving me good results. And then just up in file settings here, I make sure quality is set to 100. I don't limit the file size or anything, and I export it as JPEG. Then I go ahead and click export. To transfer it to your phone, there are many ways you can do this, but there are ways that will compress your photo and there's ways that won't compress your photos. So if you're shooting or you have an iPhone, not shooting with an iPhone, if you have an iPhone like I do, I transfer all my photos with AirDrop. I found that's the best way where you don't get any compression or you don't get any loss of quality. If you're using Android, I highly recommend using Google Drive. Now, one important thing to know here is that everything I talk about in this video is like the ingredients to the perfect recipes.
Did you follow the recipe?
If you skip out on one step, you might not get the best quality. These are all the settings, these are all the ingredients that I put together that all make for the perfect high quality photo. So make sure you keep watching and implement every single step. Once the photos are on my phone, I click on edit and I crop it in my Photos app 4:5 before I even take it to Instagram. This way, like I said, I always have the full aspect ratio or the original aspect ratio on my phone. That way I can always revert back, and that way it's not permanently cropped for Instagram. So like I said, I did a lot of tests and found out that if you crop your photo before you take it into Instagram, it actually improves the quality a tiny little bit and it doesn't get destroyed by compression as much. It's not a crazy difference, but it is something. Okay, now once we're on Instagram, we need to make sure that we're actually uploading at the highest quality. And this is actually a setting you can turn on within Instagram. If you go to your profile, click on settings, scroll down to media quality, you'll see a toggle for uploading at the highest quality. Now I can start posting. I'll choose our photo or photos I want to post. I'll click on next. And I definitely recommend not to add any filters or do any color adjustments within the Instagram app. If you want to change the colors or add a filter or do anything, make sure you're doing that outside of the Instagram app and then import your photo into Instagram with those adjustments already made. The only thing I will do within the Instagram app is add sharpening. So I'll usually add about 10 sharpening. And after many tests, I found it gives you the perfect amount of sharpness to combat Instagram's compression. For single photo posts, I found I don't really need to add sharpness because for some weird reason, Instagram doesn't seem to compress single photo posts that much. But for when I'm posting carousels, I make sure I go through every single photo and add 10 sharpening to every single one. And that's it. This is how I export and post the highest quality photos to Instagram without dealing with Instagram's terrible compression. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.